Tech is one of the fun and necessary parts of being a YouTube creator. Every channel needs to think through, even if you're just starting out, what kind of tech and cameras and lighting you're going to use. So this video focuses on some YouTube accessories that are right around the $50 price point. We're not going to go too cheap in this video. Nothing's like $1, and everything is actually between $30 and $50. Nothing is over $50. And with that, we'll dive into the first item on our list, which is this microphone I'm using right now to record this intro, the Audio-Technica AT2100X. It's an XLR and a USB microphone. This is also a dynamic microphone, which means it will be great for isolating sound that is really close to the mic. So like in this instance, my voice is the closest sound to this microphone. So it's really the only thing it would be picking up. We picked up this mic for $48.95 off of Amazon in 2024. This mic sounds really solid, and I love that you can use it in a couple of different ways. First, you can use it via a standard kind of XLR output. So run an XLR cable directly into an XLR interface like the one I have on top of my Sony FX3. But that's not the way I'm using it right now. I'm actually using the USB-C output and running that cable directly into my phone, and I'm just recording onto my cell phone's voice memo app right now. So you could purchase this mic for around $49 and use your cell phone, and you can start a long-form video podcast just with this microphone and your phone. You could even take that long-form podcast and throw it into something like Opus Clip, which then uses AI to produce vertical shorts for your YouTube videos. And now you instantly have high-quality vertical shorts for the social media platforms and a long-form video podcast, and all it cost you was $49 and the use of your cell phone to get up and running. If you ever find yourself hearing your hands moving around, like right now, you can probably hear my hands moving on the microphone. It also comes with a little mic stand, a tabletop mic stand that you can use to attach the microphone to if you don't want to be able to hear hand noise bleeding into your audio file. We love this microphone, and it's a great find for under $50. The second item on our list is the Raleno LED video light. This light comes in at $37.99, and this might be my favorite budget light I have ever found, specifically because of how bright it is and the fact that there's a bicolor temperature range. So we'll turn this light on and max it out to 100% power, and I'll put it just out of frame where my key light is positioned, and you can see that it's almost overpowering my key light right now, which is pretty impressive for how tiny this little panel light is. We also do get bicolor temperature range, so that's 3200 Kelvin is as warm as it gets, and then it goes all the way up to 5600 Kelvin. It features a built-in battery that charges via USB-C, or you can plug this light into a USB-C outlet or cable for continuous power. I love that it's nearly a third of the size of my other streaming lights, and for me, this is a perfect little travel light to throw in a suitcase and just set up with you anywhere you're on the go. If you have a flight, if you're staying in a hotel and you need a budget portable light with you, this is a great little setup, and it even comes with this little light stand. I didn't even know it came with this tabletop light stand when I purchased the light, so that was a pleasant surprise. You can set it up on a table just like this. It even raises up a little bit, so I think that's as high as it goes, which is not very high, but high enough for a few use cases. And then this head right here is tiltable as well, so you can tilt it up or down. So you can mount this to your desk, set it just out of frame, turn it on, and now you have a nice key light. The next item are these Joby GorillaPod 3K legs. I got these legs for $45, and they're usually between $40 and $50 from a ton of different sites. I use these legs most often when vlogging. They have a perfect amount of reach for me when I extend my arm with like a 20mm or a 16mm lens to just get a really nice field of view for vlogging. I even use the legs in my studio when I don't want to set up a full tripod. I can just throw the legs on a tabletop just like this, set up a camera, and get a stationary shot ready in seconds, and I don't have to set up a full tripod. You also can add other accessories to the legs, like this $30 little ball head from Joby. This is specifically designed for the 3K legs. I use this ball head sometimes when I want to give my camera more flexibility when vlogging, and I want to kind of tilt it down and up. Sometimes I'll even leave this quick release plate just permanently on my Sony a7 IV for a couple weeks if I know I'm doing a lot of run and gun stuff out of the house. You of course don't have to buy this head, and I've used these legs without the head many times, but it's just nice that you have some additional flexibility. Pretty much every YouTuber needs a good GorillaPod, plus you have the benefit of feeling like Casey Neistat. And what's cooler than that? The fourth item on our list is the Deity D4 Mini. We have talked about this little mic a lot on this channel, and this mic only costs $50. This is my go-to mic for a compact audio solution when I'm vlogging or testing out a camera or lens away from my studio space. This mic has great sound quality and hardly takes up any room in my bag when I'm on the go. On another note, I've also used this mic in many other ways. I have produced well over 60 wedding films over the last few years, and I always bring this mic with me when I'm recording weddings. I love just keeping this guy on the camera for great reference audio, and then I can also plug in a wireless audio kit directly into the microphone to capture both the sound coming from a lapel mic on like a bride or groom, and then the sound also coming from the D4 Mini. So that's a really cool feature. So no matter what you shoot, I can assure you, you will find a great use case for the Deity D4 Mini. The next items on our list are a couple of more lights. We have the SmallRig P90 P96L and then the SmallRig P108 RGB lights. These are really cool lights. Individually, the P96L is $35 and then the P108 is $22, but you can save yourself a few bucks if you want to buy them together as a set for $54. Both of these have internal batteries which charge via USB-C, and you can also do power delivery via a USB-C cable. The P96L is a lot brighter than the P108, and I often use this P96L for adding accent RGB splashes of color to my scene. So if I want to just put this light over into a corner and light up a corner of my room with a nice RGB color, this is a great light for that. And then the P108 is definitely not as bright, but it's a very fun light. There's a bunch of cool effects like RGB cycle. So right now it's like cycling different hues of RGB colors. I think that's a cool effect. And then you can of course use it as like a kicker light or a hair light. And then it's also great because it comes with a cold shoe adapter. So you can mount this to your camera's hot shoe and then have an on-camera light really easily. Both of these lights are fun purchases and both cost under $50. The next item on our list are these NEEWER light stands, and a 2-pack of these stands only cost $41. I've owned multiple of these stands for well over 6 years and they're still going strong somehow. My favorite things about these are that the different tube sections are able to twist around. Some more budget light stands will lock off the ability for you to twist around the different sections of the tubes, but these allow you to do that, which is just great because it saves me a lot of time when I'm trying to dial in the position of my lights left and right or up and down to have that full flexibility and the full range to twist these different sections around. These are great stands for all of the lights we've mentioned in this video, as well as any kind of streaming light or even some smaller Cobb style lights. Moving right into the next item on our list, which also comes from NEEWER. These are their camera desk mount with a C-clamp and ball head. So a 2-pack of these only costs $39.29. I currently have 4 of these in my studio. I love saving space in my loft because this just isn't the biggest space. So anything that I can get off of the floor is a big win. So when I can mount lights or cameras or monitors or other accessories to my desk, it saves me space and it saves me time, and then just lets me focus more on making content and focus on the story rather than spending a bunch of time setting up stands. So these stands clamp directly onto your desk, and I like that these ones in particular come with these little ball heads that are strong enough to hold a small camera or a streaming light or a microphone as well. These are a super affordable option if you don't have a ton of space and you want to save floor real estate in your room. Consider getting some budget desk mount stands. Our next item is this K&F Concept 64-inch camera tripod. This is by far the most high quality tripod I was able to find for under $50. I spent a ton of time researching tripods, and this one really is good for the money. This tripod extends up to 64 inches, which is a little over 5 feet 3 inches tall, and only weighs 2.5 pounds, but can hold up to 17.5 pounds, which should be plenty for any kind of YouTube camera setup. It's mostly an aluminum build with a few plastic parts on it, like the tripod plate and some of the locking dials, but overall, I was really impressed with the aluminum build quality. You can level your camera with the included ball head and level indicator, so you can rest assured your camera is always level for your recording purposes. And overall, this is just a really high quality tripod for under $50, and it's not something that you would need to replace anytime soon after you purchase. The next item on our list is this SmallRig monitor mount. I think the part number for this is 2905, and it has kind of a longer name, but for me, this is the most common rigging accessory that I use for cameras. I have had this for well over 5 years and it's still going really strong. You can mount it directly to a hot shoe on your camera or to a cage if your camera has a cage, but you can also put other accessories on this like microphones if you want the ability to tilt your microphone up or down, as well as camera lights if you want a good on-camera light and add some flexibility to that light to tilt it up or down. For me, this has just been the most common rigging accessory that I use for my cameras, so it's certainly worth the $35. And the final item on our list is this Nitecore BBNano blower. This is probably a product that you've never heard of, but what this is an electric air blower to replace, remember these guys, these silly little rocket blowers that you've probably been using for years? Well, this is an electric version of that. It's way more powerful, it's way more efficient than these smaller little rocket blowers. We'll do a little test right now, you can hear it. This is such a fun and cool little item, but great for maintaining your camera equipment if you shoot in messy environments, or also just for maintaining your desk and your workstation, maybe dusting off your video lights or your microphones, and just keeping things clean and tidy. I always have this little guy charged up and ready for use at a moment's notice. So those are 10 great accessories for YouTubers or other video creators. We'll be sure to link everything down in the description below so you can check those items out. If you're in the process of dialing in your YouTube studio space right now and you want to know the 10 essentials that every YouTube studio needs, you can click or tap the screen right here to check out that video, and we'll see you in the next one.